Hello everybody. Today we'll be studying about units and measurement. We'll start units measurement for class 11, and before all of you are aware about these units and measurement, we measure everything we see in our day-to-day life. What we measure is we measure mass, we measure volume, we measure everything. For measurement of mass you need a weighing machine. For measurement of volume you need a measuring cylinder. For measurement of length you need a meter scale or a meter tape. For measurement of temperature you need a thermometer. You need all the devices for measuring, and all these devices which we measure are the hardwares for the measurement. Then what is the need for measurement? You perform experiments in physics. You have performed the experiments in physics lab in class 10th also, and in class 9th also. You have measured the density of any solid. You have determined the resistance of a wire in class 10 using a voltmeter and ammeter. You have determined the focal length of a convex lens. All these experiments you do, and when you do these experiments verify the actual theoretical concept that you have studied in the theory classes. Means to understand any phenomena in physics we have to perform experiments. Experiments require measurements, and we measure several physical properties like length, mass, time, temperature, pressure, etc. that you have done in your class 9th and 10th physics laboratories. The experiment verify the theories, and all the famous laws of physics are derived from these experiments only, and if we don't do measurement we cannot even formulate correct laws in physics. Then talking about the physical quantity. The quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. Now let us read. The physical property that can be measured and described by a number is called a physical quantity. Examples are mass, length, area, temperature. I am giving you an example. The mass of a person is 65 kg. You see there's a number 65 and then there's a unit kg. Then again the table on which I am reading all these is the table which has a length of 3 meter. 3 is the number and meter is a unit. Again the area in which I am sitting has a hall and has an area of 100 meter square. Again 100 is a number and meter square is a unit. Then the temperature of my room is 300 Kelvin. I have used the unit Kelvin. It can be even degree Celsius, 27 degrees Celsius. So 300 is the number and Kelvin is the unit. You can change from one unit to the other. Now you see one thing in common in all these quantities, that mass has a number and then a unit. Number is 65, unit is kg. Length has a number 3 and then a unit meter. Area has a number 100 and then unit meter square. Temperature again has a number 300 and then unit Kelvin. Which means all these physical quantities have one thing in common. First of all we write the numerical value and then we write the unit. Means a physical quantity consists of a numerical value which is called its magnitude and a unit, and we represent the physical quantity as q, which is equal to n into u, where n represents the magnitude and u represents the unit. Now what are the types of physical quantity? The first and the foremost type of physical quantity is fundamental quantity, and as the name suggests, they are the fundamental quantity which are the quantities which do not depend on any other quantity. Name again fundamental, that they do not depend on any other quantity and their measurements are known as fundamental quantity. There are total 7 fundamental quantities, and which are mass, length, time, temperature, amount of substance that you measure in mole, electric current, luminous intensity. This is the word luminous intensity you have heard maybe the first time in class 11. Then after the fundamental quantities there are many derived quantities. The physical quantity which depend on one or more fundamental quantity for their measurements are known as derived quantity. They can be area, volume, density, velocity, acceleration, force, work, power, etc. Etc. means many more, pressure, energy and many other quantities. Then after the derived quantities, all these physical quantities we talked about need a unit for their measurement. And there are few units I will talking about, like the unit for length. The unit for length is meter, foot, inch. Unit for mass, mass has kilogram, pound, and many more other units also. Time, second, minutes are, these are some common units. For temperature, Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvins are used. These units are different in different countries. The common system of units are, the first system is CGS unit, which was first introduced in France, which is also known as Gaussian system of unit. It is based on C denotes centimeter, G denotes gram, and S denotes seconds. For the fundamental units of length, mass, and time. Length is measured in centimeter, mass is measured in gram, again time is measured in second. This is a CGS unit system of units. Then MKS system of units, it was again introduced in France, therefore known as French system of unit. Again, M stand for meter, K stand for kilogram, S stand for second. Therefore combined MKS system. Meter for length, kilogram for mass, and time for second for time. Then the next system of unit is FPS. Not very common, but common in Britain. Therefore it is known as British system of unit. It is based on F stand for foot, which is the measurement of length, P stand for pound for the measurement of mass, and S stand for second for the measurement of time. But all these systems should be well related to all these systems should be well related. So in 1971 it was finally decided that instead of using so many system of unit, we will stick to one system which should be approved internationally. So they decided that we'll call this system as SI. SI full form Système Internationale. It is a French name, Système Internationale. Now the SI unit consists of 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary units. We talked about 7 fundamental quantities before that, and now we will be talking about 7 fundamental units of those physical quantity, and there will be 2 supplementary units also. Now they are the 7 fundamental units for the fundamental quantities are, the first fundamental quantity is length and its unit is meter, symbol M. Again, the second fundamental quantity is mass and its SI unit is kilogram. Next, the third fundamental quantity is time and the SI unit is second. The fourth fundamental quantity is temperature and the SI unit is Kelvin. The fifth fundamental quantity is electric current and the SI unit is ampere. Now all these 5 quantities you have heard before and you are well aware of those quantities. The sixth quantity, luminous intensity, might be possible you are hearing the name first time, and its SI unit is candela, symbol is CD. This unit is used for measuring the brightness of the light. Then the last is amount of substance, mole. This might be you have studied in chemistry classes. So all these are 7 fundamental units. Then we'll define those fundamental units. The first fundamental unit which we came across was length and its unit is meter. Now what is a meter? First, talking about the reference of meter in terms of speed of light. The speed of light is 299,792,458 meter per second, means 29,97,92,458 meter per second, which is rounded to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. We do it around approximate value 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, which you are well aware of. Now the exact value is 299,792,458 meter per second. That is the speed of light. Now if the time is 1 upon 299,792,458 of a second, then we know that distance is equal to speed into time. Distance is equal to speed into time. On solving and putting the speed in that, speed is 299,792,458, time is 1 upon 299,792,458, then putting the distance will be 1 meter. Therefore we define the speed according to the speed of light. We define the meter as 1 meter is the length of the path traveled by light in vacuum during the time interval of 1 upon 299,792,458 of a second. Then defining 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is the mass of the prototype cylinder of a platinum iridium alloy preserved at the International Bureau of Weights and Measurement at Sèvres near Paris. And I will be showing you a picture of that. It looks like this. Prototype cylinder of a platinum iridium alloy. And that is exactly 1 kg. Now defining 1 second. 1 second is the time taken by 9192631,770 oscillations of the radiation emitted by the transition between two levels of a cesium-133 atom. Now, in cesium-133 atom, as there's a transition from one level to the other ground level, and these much oscillations are produced in that transition, which we used at the definition of 1 second in atomic clock. Now, after the 7 fundamental units, the 2 supplementary units which we use is the radian and the steradian. What is a radian? Radian is a unit which is used to measure the plane angle. That is the angle in 2-dimensional geometry. And this angle is determined as the ratio of arc and the radius. That is, angle theta is equal to the arc subtended upon the radius. Unit is radian. And as all the students are aware of degrees, because till class 10th you have commonly used degree as the unit of angle, and how to convert degree into radian. 1 degree is equal to pi upon 180 radians. Next, in 3-dimensional geometry, we use another unit called as steradian. That is used to measure solid angle. In 3-dimensional geometry, we use solid angle. You can see a shape of a cone, and the angle subtended by that cone is denoted as omega. The symbol which you use in class 10 for the resistance ohm, in this the same symbol is called as omega, and that represents the solid angle, where solid angle is equal to the area of the base of the cone and upon the radius square. Means solid angle omega is equal to the ratio of the area to the radius square, which represents the unit called steradian. Thank you everybody.